Hi, I'm Lucas and I'm going to tell you a little bit about this, which is the Mooer micro looper. Why I particularly like this, above all the other looper pedals that I've tried, it's really easy to use. So you just stamp on it, it starts looping, stamp on it again, it stops looping, that's your loop. Also, I think if you press it down and hold it, that gets rid of the last thing that you've recorded. So again, just one touch does everything. Oh, and do it twice, keep it held down, that deletes everything. So easy to use controls. These retail at about 70 quid, I think they're 69.99 or something, which is a great price. It is true bypass, which is always a plus. The only control you've actually got on it, the front of it, if you can see it, tiny weeny knob, and that just that controls the volume that what you've recorded comes out into the amp, which obviously is useful. What some people might see as a negative, which I don't, is that you can't fit a battery in it. I don't think any of the Mooer pedals are battery driven, but I don't really know any guitarists that have only got one pedal, and what that means is it's well worth shelling out for like a power bank to plug all your pedals in, and therefore not having a battery means that they're much smaller and you can fit more in, which means you can buy more, obviously, which is a plus. So what I'm going to do is just show you some of the things that you can do at home and the way that you can use the pedal to sort of help you with your practice and some of the things that it's good for, rather than just give a demonstration of what it can do, because there's plenty of those. So really show how it can help you and make you a better player. So the first thing that you can do is just use it to build up something to maybe practice a solo to. You could improvise, or there could be a particular solo that you're working on. I'm going to use one of the ones from All Along the Watchtower, Jimi Hendrix song, and if you were practicing that solo at home, it's quite hard to play along to the original. There's lots going on. This way you can sort of isolate a basic backing track and just practice your solo over and over again. And what I'm going to do, I've also, as well as a looper, I've got a Mooer octave pedal. And what it does, I'll show you. So this is without the pedal. When I press it down, obviously you can hear that adds bass. So I'm going to lower it up. So all I would do, actually I wiggled in my seat there. Something that is really important, sitting in the right place so that you can move your leg to operate the pedal is actually really important, because if you go to do it and you fall over it, it won't work, it'll be rubbish. So, octaves down. Okay, so I've got the bass line. So I'll put the chords over the top. So what I can do now, I can just practice my solo as much as I want. Yeah, I just double clicked it to get rid of it. I obviously do need to practice it because I got it wrong. But that's not the point. The point is that you can build that up and you could just leave that going, you can practice as much as you want. When you turn it off, it keeps it there. So you can turn it off, next day, go back, as long as you haven't gone over the top of it, press it down, you can practice again. So something else it's really good for is practicing both parts of a harmony section. So I'm going to use the Trooper, Iron Maiden. So you've got one section that does this, and then you've got another one. Now there's no real way on your own to practice both. I'm going to start the looper and record the first section. And what I'm going to do, practice my other part over the top. So you don't really need to record both. You could record one and practice one over the top, then you can wipe it out, record maybe the harmony part and practice the rhythm part underneath, and that way you can practice both whilst there is one playing. Something else you can do that's really good is practice accuracy. So say I'm going to use Cowboys from Hell, Pantera, you could just record that once, loop it, and then just practice over the top, playing along to something you've already done, or you imagine it's another rhythm player. Something else you can do at the same time, which I'm going to do, is listen to what different pickups and things sound like on the guitar and really beef it up. So if you were playing it or recording it or something, you could build your own sort of massive fat riff with all the different sounds. So I'm going to try and do both. So I'm going to record it once, and this is on the neck pickup. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing with the middle pickup. So you can hear that's much fatter, but it's got a different tonal quality. We do the same thing now with the bridge pickup. Okay, so you could hear there that on the last one that I did wasn't quite right and it was starting to phase out, and that's where you can practice being really accurate, because you would just hold it down, that would get rid of the last thing that you recorded. You could then just practice doing it again and just listening to the other guitar parts and honing in and just really getting your accuracy up, and it sounds big and fat obviously, which is brilliant. Okay, the last thing I'm going to show you is building up parts of a song, which you could, obviously if you were gigging, you could obviously sing or do whatever you wanted over the top. Also, it's quite good when you're soloing and things and practicing, particularly improvising for this. It's good to have the whole, I mean you're not going to have drums, but it's good to have the whole thing there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a James Brown song. I'm going to do the bass, the rhythm guitar, and try and replicate like a horn section, and then try and solo over the top, just to show, you know, what you can build up really. So I'm going to start with the bass. I'm going to put the rhythm part over the top. Okay, now try the horn section. Yeah, so you get the idea, and what the good thing, oops, summarise there. The good thing about that is what you can do. Say you're practicing at home and you know you're going to practice with the band. What that means is instead of practicing a solo, so you're playing sort of along in your head and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to play that, I'm going to play this. Some of the stuff that I didn't really fit with the horn section. And obviously I now know that because I've sort of made it up here. So I would change that, amend it, do whatever. So when I get to practice and everyone's playing there, you know that what you're playing will fit, which is pretty good. So just to summarise, you've seen some of the stuff that you can do. Obviously you can do loads more. And you also saw how easy it was to use, just with one step. You know, it's not going to break the bank. It's a great buy. You can do so much, particularly, you know, some of the things I was demonstrating. If you are in a band, that's great. But if you're not in a band, you know, you can make your own, really. So a brilliant thing. One other thing, sometimes when you've got lots going, you can get a lot of noise and background hum. These, I've just got one of these. It's not in my system at the moment, but I've tried it out. These are brilliant. It's a Mooer again, but a noise killer, so it just cuts out all the hum and the buzz. Might be worth thinking about that. Brilliant.